Hey guys, good morning. Obviously, there we go already. Still getting adjusted, but hopefully there's less coughing today. There definitely will be less crying. Yeah, going to be another relaxed stream. Um, I do love this stuff. I was looking at some articles that I just found at the last minute that I won't dig into today. Maybe we'll talk about them tomorrow. Um, excuse me. A lot of them have to do with um, what we're talking about tomorrow. And so, in these lives, um, I want to start. I'm not going to say like a full on like class, but I want to start like little small series, even in the lives, um, dedicated topics. And so, like I said, though we're still talking about micro caps and stuff that you can make money on, of course, um, right? But also slowly like trickling in some of the knowledge that people need to have to really just understand the space, understand why it's important. And like I said, trickle in knowledge that I think I said like how to talk to your family about crypto at Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think I did a video like that. So slowly add in real world reasons why crypto is here to stay, and and why we're using it. I got the live tomorrow will really focus on that. And I know you guys are probably like, well, why not do it today? But it takes a little while to prepare. And as you can see, I still have this cough. Sorry. But at least you don't have to deal with it in person, right? Um, Bitcoin just tried to do a little jump there, didn't it? But yeah, so I want to, talk about those things so you can talk about it more. So it's not just sounding like this crazy digital money that you and your friends, oh, I feel better now. Neither those coughs. So it can stop sounding like those just digital money that you and your crazy friends are investing into real world use cases and stuff like that. I know it almost sounded like I was about to say real world assets. Some of y'all got hyped because I know a lot of people always talking about real world assets, but just real world use cases as a whole and how it's already being used. One even shocked me yesterday. I was looking into it, something that I follow pretty closely. But anyway, um, looking at Bitcoin's price, Bitcoin's doing what it does. And as you guys know, I always say I don't really care. But you see, like when it falls, you do get a chance to get some sales. And this is one thing I was saying that I always say. And I think if I just peeked at a comment, I think I saw a comment that said something about Bitcoin falling to 30K, right? I never worry about that. When you see a drop in price, especially in stuff that you like, and it's a pretty significant drop in price, go ahead and try to buy a little bit of it, Don't because you're like, oh, it dropped 2 or 3, Bitcoin dropped 2 or 3 thousand, which is a lot for Bitcoin. I didn't know I was gonna cough this much. Sorry. That's a lot for Bitcoin. And so it makes the price of your altcoins drop a lot. Go ahead and try to ladder in a little bit and buy um little small positions, at least in stuff that you like, that you've already bought into. Don't be like, well, people say it's gonna drop to 30,000, 25,000, so I'm gonna wait till then. I can already see on some of the altcoins that I look into and some of the ones I know people like, they dropped, right? And people were like, well, they're saying it's going to drop to 35,000, which seems legit, 36,000, 35, whatever. So I'm gonna wait to then. But those altcoin prices are already starting to go back up. Some of them have went up 10, 12, 20%. So don't always try to time the perfect bottom. Maybe you don't put 100% in, but when it falls a little bit, put 20% of maybe what you were going to put in there, or a little bit, maybe even 50%, right? So yeah, I think a lot of people I see. Let me tell you, it's gonna happen over and over this cycle, and people always get bitter. They're like, "Oh, I should have bought it." You're gonna continue to say you should have bought it because you keep trying to time the exact bottom, and you're gonna be upset the whole cycle, stressing yourself out for no reason. So if you see a drop in price like we've seen, go ahead and try to ladder in. Hopefully my coughs weren't too loud and bothering you guys. Ad Tank said, "Hey guys," and Katie said, "What's up?" Cassius, I believe that is. Um, Forgive me if I didn't pronounce that correctly. Said hi. North Node said, "Yes, boss." EA, what's up, man? Said, "What's good, G?" Nothing much. Trying to feel better. Hopefully my coughs are not too loud. I didn't even think I was gonna be coughing like this. I've been feeling better. My nose is better at least. Um, Jag said, "What's good, Crypto Zoe?" Um, I'm good, man. Catches. Listen, and I always try to get to these picks like the next stream when people ask about them. Like I said, I do believe Delicium is a good project, Catches, but I need to do. I'm the type of person when I say I want to look at a project, like somebody even asked me about Mint Layer, Delicium. Like I know these projects, I know what they do, right? And to somebody who's new to the space, it might sound like, oh, he's so knowledgeable. He knows all this stuff about it. But anybody can. I don't want to say anybody, but you, when you're in this critical space, you can quickly look up what a project does, say what it does, and sound like you're knowledgeable or whatever. So I can do that with Delicium and Mint Layer as well. But I want to look deeper into them and give people a more than generic review. So I've been sick for about a week. I have not. I think Delicium has been on my list probably for at least 9 days though. So almost not an excuse, but I do a lot, but I'm definitely going to look into them. I know they're good projects, but I want to look at the different reasons why the sentiment could be good or bullish or bad for them. Yeah, I want to show people both sides, so I will definitely look into it more. And I do try to look at projects on stream too, a little more than normal. Take a little bit of time to look at them on stream as well. But I want to look deeper into those. Don said, I think you meant what it do. Katie said BTC going down to 30K. I don't know. I'm not expecting that. And like I said, we do have a lot of volatile movements, which I'm actually going to talk about with some news stuff today. I have some volatile movements in crypto, and it's just part of the journey. But I don't know if I see it going to 30K right now. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't try to chart and all that kind of stuff, but that's not where I see. Maybe 36, 35, maybe. I don't see 30K, but I could be wrong. Eddie said, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning, Eddie. North Node said, "Don't try to catch the bottom; you'll get wrecked." Exactly. I try to tell people all the time. I know people that are, and excuse me, because I do laugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of people, but I'm at the point now I laugh at people when they get upset when they didn't buy it. You saw the price drop, and now it's going back up, and now you're mad. Like, stop trying to time the bottom. At least get a little bit in there. But anyway, I want to talk about there's a lot of news that I just saw that I won't be able to talk about today, and maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. And I know this is not one of people's favorite because this is kind of along the lines of political a bit. But Maxine Waters was questioning Meta on their abandonment of crypto in 2022, and she wants to know, where they are still concerning this. And I'm going to not talk about this from a direct political, like one team against the other angle. I don't really deal with that mess. But it says in the past year, Meta has submitted 5 applications for trade. Oh, I can read now. Okay, trademarks related to cryptocurrency on blockchain. Waters implied that these trademarks contradict communications between the Democratic Financial Services Committee and Meta staff. According to her letter, representatives of Meta stated that the company is not pursuing any developments related to digital assets or blockchain. The Congresswoman now seeks clarification. So what I will say is, without getting too much in this political stuff, you can run from it if you want to or not. I'm going to make this short. I'm still of the camp that believes both parties work together, and have us divided amongst one another with issues that they feel that um, resonate with certain people. And we know what those issues are. I don't want to get into those things. But what I will say is, at this time, um, they're using their power. And notice, I'm not talking about one particular political party. Don't believe the smoke and mirrors. But they use their powers to help their rich friends get in. BlackRock is connected to these politicians. You know this stuff, right? So they say all this stuff, say all these things about altcoins being securities and stuff, and in order for their friends to get in. And let's not talk about or focus on what blockchains you believe in and whether you think this blockchain is trash or not. Solana is a definitely a great blockchain, and that's why they wanted to target it blockchains by the SEC to give their friends time to get in. And I'm using that one for example because, like I said, I put in a limit order when it was around $17, right when that security news was happening, and I think Solana dropped as low as um, like $8.39, maybe, right? And so in this moment, all of retail is saying, oh man, they're claiming the security. I need to get out of this. Robinhood's going to sell it. Sam Bankman Fried is going to sell, all these people are going to sell it. No, because what you allowed them to do is let their rich friends get in because Solana is a great blockchain, has a lot of partnerships they've been working on, partnerships with Visa, Shopify, regular. See, I want to talk about this more tomorrow. I got a series on this tomorrow, but regular stuff that we use every day, they're making partnerships with these people. And so when you allow them to scare you out, what only thing you did was allow their big friends that they claim are not in crypto to buy up these blockchains, like Solana and some of the good ones. So, you can't really focus and pay attention to this kind of stuff here because I'm pretty sure Meta is definitely still um, going for those patents or whatever they're trying to do to incorporate blockchain and crypto into their platform because it's what we use every day, and crypto will be a part of our daily lives, um, including stable coins that they keep trying to knock and act pretend they're giving problems to. But yeah, don't fall for the FUD. So this next story is another one I want to explain, and then we'll get into some of you guys' questions. I do want to make this a more relaxed live. I do want to answer more questions this live tomorrow. Like I said, I have a kind of series put together where I will be doing more talking and stuff I want to talk to you guys about. But that doesn't mean today is not going to be a good stream. But Direxion, I think that's how you say it, is seeking. They want to offer a leveraged Bitcoin ETF along with like Pro shares and Rex shares. And pretty much they want to leverage Bitcoin. And so that's the market is already volatile, right? And there's not as much money in crypto as there's in stocks when you're talking about leverage positions to make the market go up and down. When I say volatile, makes the prices go up and down. I'm just explaining that for people who are new. I know some of you people may think this is elementary, but I'm trying to teach this to everybody. So pretty much they want to rock the market. They want quick gains. And for those of you who only seen the term leverage thrown around, to explain it in simplest terms, and try to be quick about this, Lorenzo. So if a cryptocurrency moves 1%, it has made a 1% gain on the day, and somebody put 10x leverage on it, long or whatever. That means instead of that 1% gain, they're going to get 10% gain. So these are for people who are trying to make quick gains. They can also do the same to the downside with leverage. So if it loses 1%, they could bet that it does lose, but they got in on 10x leverage. Therefore, they still 10x their gains. Did I make that make sense? Hopefully I did. Pretty much they can make gains quicker. Let me tell you something though. Don't do leverage. Especially if you're new. Now, some of you might, if you're bettors and gamblers, you might got excited about that, but leverage will mess you up. Because what happens is you say, this thing only made 1%, I'm going to get 10%. Or if it makes 10%, I'm going to make 100%. But if you lose on that, you lose just as much as you have the potential to gain. So let's say you put in, I'm trying to make this simple, you put in $100 and you 10x bet that it will gain 10% or whatever. And so you can gain $10, that where somebody else would make $10 on that 10%, you would make another $100. So you would make 100% because you did 10x, right? So, but you can also lose that, your whole $100 that you put in as well. And what happens is when you start losing money with leverage, then people start to double down because they're trying to catch up to what they came in with, and it's just a dangerous game. But what I'm giving you guys this news not to tell you what leverage is and to make you excited about it, but to let you know that when these big players are coming in that are used to doing this, and Direction is used to doing this, like this is what they do. Leverage is their game. I don't even think they have any regular ETFs. They may, but they just do leverage bets for people who want to make money fast. So I'm letting you know when these big players come into the crypto market doing this leverage stuff, that the market is going to be much more volatile. But that's why you have to focus on the long picture. You have to focus on, like I always say, as of now, I think I can still use the 8 to 18 months out. You can say 24 months out, sort of, but I say 8 to 20 months out from now. So yeah, the market will be volatile because these people are coming into the space. This is what they do. This is what makes them excited. And so, there's just a couple right now. There will be many more of these companies that are coming into the space. So, like I said, and usually I even have more news stories than that, but I wanted to make this a relaxed stream, answer any questions that you guys have about projects that you're looking at, projects that you may have bought into while the dip is happening, questions that you have about the dips, like, because I know a lot of people are mad. I told you, if you're in my group, I told you, hey, go and try to get in now. And I had two people that were kind of upset, like, did I play this right? Like, the price is already going back up, and it's one of them was higher than before the dip, right? So, if you have questions about that kind of stuff, um, you can ask those questions, or about any projects that you have. I know that. Oh man, I'm at 17 minutes. Wow, I didn't even know that. But yeah, usually we go about an hour. I do want to make this 30 to 35 minutes today. It could go longer though. It depends on the questions you guys have. Yeah, I read North knows this. He said, "Don't try to catch the bottom. You will get wrecked. Just DCA down." Exactly. JDP said, Danks made a video on Shido. It's a layer one. Seems like a promising project. Yeah, I think I've already covered Shido a while ago. I haven't. I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting to the flow where I'm trying to balance out the Patreon and make sure I'm, getting people what they need in there. So I may not make a video on everything I talk about, but yeah, I've already put information in the Patreon on Shido. Um, I'm not going to be first to every project, but we are pretty early on a lot of these things. Even if I just make a blurb on it to put it in your attention, but yeah, we've already done information on Shido a while ago. But it looks like a pretty good project, and I want to look deeper into it. But yeah, Tank said, "What projects do you have an eye on?" You have to get in Patreon for that. And the reason I say that is not for the same reason that people always trying to promote the Patreon and just get you locked into there and making money off it. Oh, it's because the people who um, value the research that I put in have invested their money into the Patreon, and so they need to get their money's worth before I come to the channel and just start dropping everything that I'm talking about in the Patreon. And the difference between my Patreon, I talked about this the other day. I wasn't feeling this well, but I did put this message out that when I say anything about like I'm going to close my Patreon down soon, that is not to make people FOMO in, but just seeing where I am with the Patreon now, I have a number in mind where I'm going to cut my Patreon off at, and it's much lower than where other people are with their Patrons. And I'll give you this. Maybe I have to get used to the whole system and making sure I'm helping everyone. I don't see how people have Patrons with 1,000 members. Like, that seems ludicrous to me. I don't think you can. I don't know. I want to say you can't help that many people, but I'm gonna probably cut my Patreon way before that. So if you want to get into Patreon, you probably want to get in now. I think it's much cheaper than a lot of people are charging. But yeah, I don't want to say everything I have my eye on right here because the Patreon still need to get a chance to get into those. Run the Jack said, "Young Zoe, let's get it. Yeah, man, let's get this money. I think I'm gonna be 100% by the end of the week. I had a little coughs in the beginning of the stream. Maybe I should have got those out before I got on stream. I didn't know they were there though. I'm sorry. But let's see. Can I answer? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, some of them are higher market caps, and mentioning them on stream may not push the price too much. But at the same time, I want to give the because I do know. I don't want to say that. I just don't want to push the price too much while my Patreon members are waiting to get into these projects. Maybe I'll think of something as time goes on. Jay Morrison said, "What happened with Archie? You made amends. The video's down." No, I was as I said, I was trying to give him a, be. I have a big heart, and sometimes it's a negative. I was trying to give him a chance to not have anxiety and have a mental breakdown. And I was thinking he was going to change his ways, but he didn't. Like I said, he went ahead and put the video up, and he didn't know what he was explaining about Connect's network. And for you guys, probably don't know that, but anybody in the space will look at the video and be like, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about." He's reading off, not just because he's reading, because you do want to show your audience what's on the website and whatever. But Archie didn't know what he was talking about with Connect's network, and I was trying to give him grace. A couple of my members were actually upset that I took the video down. For one, I do understand people like drama, but two, a lot of them have gotten messed up by Archie, and felt I should leave the video up because it could hurt other people. This was me trying to give him a second chance, but some people are going to do what they're going to do. And like I said, a lot of people, some people even accuse me, "Oh, you just use this to get clout." And I'm not trying to be petty. When I put the video up, he knew it was true. He immediately came to my inbox on platforms that I shouldn't even be known that I'm on. He found me and was begging me and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm like, okay, he seems like he's kind of sorrowful. I didn't respond to the messages, but he seemed like he was apologetic, but I guess he wasn't. I'm gonna leave that alone though. I just hope he doesn't. Never mind. Tinzen said, Yozo, hey Tizen, what's up, man? I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm trying to get you guys names from the Patreon to YouTube so I know who I'm talking to. I know Kat asked me the other day. She's like, "Did you know that you were talking to me the other day on YouTube?" And I'm not sure if I did or not. But yeah, guys, I want to answer some questions today. Like I said, it is a relaxed live. I am not 100% yet, but I want to make sure that the lives going forward. I feel like I always got some kind of alpha in my lives, but make sure I have like literally kind of like lessons set up as far as the different lives are going forward. Tomorrow's going to be really good, and I think today's going to be good too. But tomorrow's going to be really good. Are airdrops worth it? JDP said. Here's the thing about airdrops. You have to have a lot of money if you're airdrop chasing, right? That means you hear there's going to be an airdrop somewhere, so you buy the coins just because you hear it's going to be an airdrop. Myself, because I do study the space and understand what Celestia did, I bought in Celestia at the bottom. I wish I could have got airdrop Celestia. Like some people got blessed with a lot of Celestia early. I bought it on the market early, as soon as it came out. So I already had a lot of Celestia. So when I heard about the airdrops, I'm sorry, let me take this off stream so I'm seeing like I'm just shilling it. But um when I when I bought Celestia, I bought it early, so I have a lot of it. So when I've heard about the airdrops, I was already in position to take advantage of the airdrops. But to be like chasing different airdrops because you hear it's going to be one over here and you just buy the coins, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I feel like airdrops are worth it. Um, but don't go into just thinking they're all going to make you a millionaire. Just like the crypto market is getting oversaturated, the airdrop narrative is kind of getting saturated for those who are willing to find out how to do it and how to stake the different tokens and how to do the different activities. But I would say, it's worth it. You make a little money on the side. Some of them have given people 4 and 5 figures, but don't expect that with every single one. Realize that this is free money. So if you're getting $400, $100, even $50, like, it's pretty much free money. It's airdrop to you. So, but make sure you know what you're doing and don't get scammed, because a lot of people do get scammed with airdrops where they plug into their wallet into the wrong thing, and then their wallet gets drained. So you got to be careful with that. Make sure you're following the right pages. I know at Celestia they have a lot of different Twitter pages you can follow. You can get into Discord and make sure you're finding the right airdrop websites and all that kind of stuff so you're not getting scammed. But I would definitely say that it's I would definitely say that it's worth it. Let me see here. I want to look up. Let's see if I can give a couple of projects. Um, I mean, like I said, I've already talked about G Swift on the channel. It's a good entry, so my eye is always on there. But that's a normal. Yeah. Is there any that I can say? Um, oh, look at that one. Yeah, some of these Patreon ones are moving. One of my favorites is definitely moving in. If you're in the Patreon, you know which one I'm talking about. Um, any picks that I have my eye on. I wonder how weird I look looking down on here. It don't matter. Um, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you one I have my eye on. One that's been very very sturdy, and I did a video on it. I don't talk about it a lot, but ZTX, which is a metaverse play. Um, and the thing is, like I said, they already have their own metaverse that's already a running product. This is not like one of those products where you're like, oh, we're developing this and you'll see it in whatever years and during the bull run. Zepeto is already one of the biggest metaverses in the world right now with some of the most active monthly users, and people are already purchasing stuff off their metaverse. And so ZTX is just the Web3 version. And in my opinion, it looks like they're making something that's even better. Can I say that? I would say so in ways. So same company, same idea. And one thing I will say about them is that all of crypto is volatile and prices go up and down a lot. Man, their price has been very, let me look at this thing. It's been very stable, even with the ups and downs. It's been much more stable than a lot of other plays. So yeah, that's a great project. You can watch the video that I made on that. Um, yeah, like I said, once maybe the channel gets bigger and the Patreons gets bigger and it's settled in with the members that I'm going to have in there, when I cut off the number, maybe I can talk about some more of those picks on the channel. But I realize that everybody, when I say put out a buy alert, won't be able to buy right away, and so I don't want to be talking about it on the channel that quickly. Um, like I said, with the at the expense of sounding like other people who shield their Patreon, but that's the reason why. Yeah. Hello, is Duel a good project? Oh man, Duel. When Duel was when they were Rainmaker, when they started, they launched like after the peak of last bull run, and they had some great backers. I don't know if those, I don't even believe those same backers are behind what was once Rainmaker, and the Rain token is now, the ticker is now Dual, and the new project is Game GPT. With the expense of potentially sounding wrong and what's not sounding like the all-knowing guru that everybody wants to sound like, they know every single thing. I would wager just say right now that I don't think I would be investing in Dual, which was formerly Rainmaker. For those of you that don't know, it was formerly Rainmaker. Ticker was Rain. It is now Dual, known as Game GPT. I'm not too bullish on them. I know it's attractive because people see that low market cap. It just is more fishy now. It's more gimmicky now, and like I said, I don't believe they have the same backers that they once did behind them. I could be completely wrong. You may see a lot of people shield it. It definitely, because it's a low market, it definitely could move, but it also could be a pump and dump. I do know that the price initially fell because when they once were Rainmaker, and they were saying that if you buy the Rain token, that when you stake it and convert it to the new Dual token, say if the token was worth, I know this is not what it was worth, but I'm trying to paint the picture. Say if that token was worth $1 or whatever, right? So if you had 100 of those tokens, you had $100 worth of those tokens. They were saying when it relaunched as Dual, that they would be worth 3 times as much, I believe. So your $100 would become $300. So people immediately, upon when they switched the token, dumped the tokens off because they had gains. They had 3x their gains. I'm not sure how much anybody believes in the project. It just doesn't appeal to me right now. Everything with a low market cap is not necessarily appealing. Is Animoca still behind them? I don't fully know, but I don't believe the other VCs that were behind them before, I don't believe they are behind it anymore. It just looks suspect now. I'm sorry. I don't want to flood anybody's bags, but it just, as of right now, the last that I looked at it, maybe blame it on me being a little sick now and still not fully have my full brain capacity, but I'm not too bullish on them. Just watching the whole thing, how they switched, I didn't like how it happened. Hopefully, I'm not flooding anybody's bags. I don't know if my channel's big enough to do that right now anyway. Um, Crypto Rose said, "Do you invest in picks that are only on sexes, or do you also recommend some Dex picks that you believe will get sex listings?" Oh yeah, recommend it all. As long as I think it's a good project. I know a lot of people. I've seen all kinds of stuff about if it's only on the Dex, then it's not good. That's not true, because one of the picks I'm really bullish on, but no, it's not only on. It has like one or maybe two centralized exchanges, maybe one. But no, there's a lot of projects that start on Dex. Like I always use this example, like the polygons and stuff like that. A lot of them started on only on decentralized exchanges or DEX's last cycle. You just have to research the project to make sure it's a good project. See who the backers are, see who the team is, see how they're developing. I would never say not to invest in a project just because it's on the DEX, because that's the only place you can get a lot of them when they first start. I think it's good to start that way, to be honest. So everybody can have access to it. A lot of people don't like buying off centralized exchanges, to be honest. So no, I recommend projects that are on sexes, that are on dexes, and I want to do better. And I'm just being completely transparent and honest. Even for my Patreon members, realize that I'm always studying and researching. So I hear that a lot of patrons do videos only specifically for the Patreons that I want to get to. I want to make some for some of my beginner Patreons, that so they can be better versed into buying off decentralized exchanges or DEX, so they can understand what they're doing. Um, but no, I recommend projects that are on sexes and DEXs. Um, what we got here? Tizen said, "Do you think BTC will dump more?" It could. I hate to say it this way, and I don't mean to be nonchalant, but I always tell people I don't really care. Sorry, and I'm not saying that in a rude way to you, but I kind of don't care. I just try to buy my bag early, find good entries, and I know that's repetitive, and but every YouTuber, every Patreon is going to be different. I'm not trying to be like other people, and that's just my point of view. That's how I invest, and so I don't really care what Bitcoin does until we're in the middle of the excuse me, until we're in the middle of the bull run. Doesn't matter to me right now. Price prediction for Artie. I don't do price predictions. I will give what I think where. Oh, I didn't know I had this many questions. Okay, now I can answer questions. I'm sorry. Um, um, I do where I think it could X, and right now, mm, I would say I was about to say higher. But when we're talking about conservatively and trying to protect investors and the people that watch my channel and protect the people that are in my Patreon, I want to give conservative numbers. I believe Artifact could easily 50x from where it is now. I could definitely say more, but I think comfortably it definitely could. Let me take a look and see where it's at right now. But I'm pretty sure on that, unless it just did something crazy while I've been on stream. Um, Also realize sometimes that you're waiting for that particular narrative to come around, like the metaverse narrative. Like for gaming, it doesn't really have to wait for a narrative because gaming is all season. Sometimes metaverse needs that little kick to give it. But I see Artie as like, it's kind of like metaverse and it's kind of like traditional gaming to me at the same time. But I can see it comfortably doing 50x from where it's at. Tizen said, "I meant, do you think BTC could dump more to 30K?" I don't see 30K. I don't have a crystal ball and I don't control the markets. I'm not one of those, I'm not a big whale. As I said earlier, maybe 35, 36x. I don't know about 30K though. I think that's pretty low. Um, yeah. Reed, I believe that's is. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Say good morning, Mrs. Zoe. I'm still working on getting on your Patreon sometime today. Do you have any opinion of AIT protocol? It's funny you said that. Well, I didn't really want to talk about this, but I think AIT will be a part of because AI is kind of not kind of it's involving what I'm talking about tomorrow, but more in depth than just talking about AIT. I'm sorry, AI different projects. I'm going to show some real world stuff with that tomorrow. But I think AIT is a good project, definitely. Um, yeah. Ad tank. Where do you see Neon can go? Fully diluted is quite high. Oh man, there's so many ways to talk about fully diluted. It matters. It doesn't matter. It matters and doesn't matter. Because yeah, because I was just talking to somebody about this when it was at I think it was at like 1:30 earlier when somebody was asking me about getting back in Neon. The fully diluted is quite high. Um, I myself, I had to look at the investing schedule again. Once you're in a full bull, man, let me tell you, mm, it tends not to not matter. It's all about it's really just about supply and demand. Because even I've seen projects be kind of like dumping out during the full bull, but if the demand is there, it really doesn't matter. I do understand that it's a big difference in FDV, right? I still think it should do fine, and from here, I would say conservatively, um, it should still do a 40x to me if you ask me. Um, I think it should do fine. And like I said, I always say, some people are probably saying you're not bullish enough, but man, you did a video on Neon and you told me about Neon. I want you to say 300x or whatever. As I always say on this channel, that some people will like and some people dislike. I don't have to give astronomical predictions for the projects that I get into because I feel like they're good and they will pump themselves. Number two, my channel's not big enough to pump it up anyway. So even if I said it could do 1,000x, um, you want to get into projects that don't need your influencer or your Patreon lead or your YouTube person that you watch to pump it. You should not have to depend on that. It's a good thing to have, and it is something I even consider when I invest in stuff like, oh, a lot of influencers are behind this, right? Um, so I don't want you to get leery because you feel like I gave you a low X prediction. But I see 40x. I see 40x from here. Could go more, but I say conservatively 40x. Um, let's see what we got here. PC say you're awesome. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I'm almost there. I feel like I'm at 88%, and which is pretty decent. Just got to get rid of this cough, the stuff he knows a little bit more, and then I'll be try to be dropping hot alpha all stream. But I do listen. I have to have relaxed streams myself for my brain because there's a lot of brain work. I don't think people realize that. I've done physical labor and I've done brain work, and I'm telling you, brain work is no joke. So sometimes I do want to have relaxed stream, talk to you guys. You guys get to know me. I get to know you. See the projects you're looking at. But I don't want to waste anybody's time on the stream either, because I know people take out their time to click on and watch and listen. JDP said yes, those types of videos would be fantastic. Okay, cool. Definitely try to keep that in mind. And listen, when I say I'm keep something in mind, that means I'm really trying to keep it in mind and really trying to do it. But I can't even explain to you what my day looks like when I'm doing this. Like I say, a lot of people just collect Patreon money and just go. They go and chill out the entire day, and they come on 2 or 3 times a day and say they appeared. I'm usually like researching with one window, got the Patreon open in another, trying to answer questions, and my brain has to keep switching channels. And then I got to plan my live videos, and like tomorrow, I'm really planning that out. I'm not just turning it on the camera and just trying to ramble on to collect minutes. So I would say kind of like a lesson tomorrow, kind of is really plotted out. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to get those videos done for you guys, but I also understand, and to give a conservative to make a video It might be a 5 or 10 minute video, but you're talking about, and I'm talking about bare minimum is a 3 hour process. But more likely is usually like a 6 or 7 hour process because I got to research it, put my stuff together. It's a lot, but I'm definitely going to try to do that for you guys. All right. Um, thank you, PC. EA said you see layer zero future price at $5. Um, I don't even know. Did I miss something? Man, you got me scared, man. Don't be scaring me like that. Did it list? EA, man, you scare me. And so EA is a nice guy too, man. And he has some information on projects before I do. Like I don't know what their I look up sometimes what the private sales were and the prices and public sale, private sale, and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I don't know where they started their evaluations, how much money was invested into them. All I know is Layer Zero is going to do great. That's all I know, and I want to get my hands on some. I was not able to get any in the private in pre-sales, private sales, and all the different names. But I think it should do very well. So I mean, you let me know what you know, and I guess then I can say where it could go. I just think it's going to go crazy. JDP said, "Do you think these next months are going to be the last big opportunity for crypto investors to make insane ROI on our investments?" Um, Number one, I would say I believe this cycle. I know a lot of people said the last cycle, but I didn't think the last cycle was the last cycle. I thought that this cycle would be the last cycle for those big astronomical gains. But then again, crypto always have new projects. But as far as the next few months, a lot of us were of the belief that the Bitcoin ETF was going to really push the market way faster, and it did. It got the price up to where it is now. But it feels like they're still trying to kind of slow it down, and I want to say give people time to accumulate because that's not their goal ever. They don't ever want retail to have a chance to accumulate. It's really for them. But I've always said that really the astronomical stuff doesn't really supposed to start to next fall, really the beginning of 2025. But you want to get in as early as possible because some of these we got in early in the bear market and they're not going to retrace to those prices. So you just want to be getting in good entries. Like I said, make sure you're in the right groups or patrons or you have the right circle of people, even if you're not paying for a Patreon, the right circle of friends that know the market and you guys can bounce ideas off each other and know when projects are coming out to get in early. Um, so that when the market starts moving, you're already in early. Like a lot of people got messed up because they were listening to people saying it's going to go to 12K, it's going to go to 12K. And here we are sitting at 40K right now. And those prices, they will never see those prices that we got in the bear market when we had conviction in what we were what we were buying in on. So I can't tell you, man. All I can say is get in where you fit in. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like I know it all. Tizza said, "Do you think coins that didn't pump last 4 months will pump in the bull market, or are they dead?" That's something that's a blanket statement that I can't answer because there's a lot of them that haven't moved that are going to go crazy. There's a lot that haven't moved that will go crazy. There's a lot that have been just doing nothing but dumping that will go crazy. And I'll explain. So there's this thing that people say when the bull market comes, everything's going to move anyway. Some trash picks are going to move, right? But there's some projects right now that are good projects that people are just maybe the sentiment is not as hot right now, and people are like, let's see if I can continue to get this lower. And everybody's doing that same thing. So those projects have been dumping, but they're probably going to be some of the best projects. There's no way to answer that question. I know a lot of people say they can just look at the chart and tell. No, you can't. That's a lie. No, you can't. Stop saying that. You cannot just look at the chart and tell. There's a lot of different things that go into this um, when you're looking at projects to invest in. So, like I said, get in a good group, get great friends around you, get in a good Patreon, do your own research as always. And that's not just so just not a disclaimer we throw so nobody tries to sue us, but you need to know what you're investing in. Make sure you know this project is good. So yeah, just because they haven't been doing well doesn't mean they won't. Here's the other thing: just because projects have been doing good, I don't want to say no name and FUD any bags, but I know like 2 or 3 projects that I feel did really well during the bear market, and I don't think they're going to do well this cycle. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to FUD anybody's bags, but they did really well during the bear market, but I don't think they're going to do that well during the bull. And some people say if it did good in the bear market while stuff was low, that means it's going to do amazing. That is a take that makes a lot of sense, and you can say that's true, right? But that's not always the case. You just got to really know the market, man. Um, and none of us can know it all because it really just depends on what people believe in at the same time. So, sorry, there's just really no way to answer these questions straight out. And I know that's what makes people get people on their channel. They sound like they know everything and they make strong, definitive statements. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care to pack my Patreon with a billion people. I'm really just trying to help people not get wrecked and messed up. Um, Kosas said, your view on Cubic. I've been hearing a lot about Cubic. I don't know a lot about it though. I will. Let me not make a. I should have looked it up before I opened my mouth. But I mean, I looked it up before, and I remember not feeling too bullish about it. EA is in here. Maybe he has some take on it. What did I feel about this? Maybe I didn't feel it was bad, but I do not remember. I don't remember feeling like excited about it. I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me just do a. I said I was gonna make this stream long, but I guess I'll be running my mouth. Don't worry. I think you guys appreciate it a whole lot in the future because I'm definitely going to be trying to drop as much alpha as possible. Layer one, proof of work network, aiming to achieve the true AI with true finality and high speed smart contract execution. Proof of work definitely could be a narrative. I'm gonna have to look deeper into this because of what it is. This is one of those ones that you have to look into to really know what you're talking about. It's some. I'll keep this one up. Let me put in my notes real quick. To look deeper, but like I said, I know when I looked before, I didn't feel the most bullish about it. But I don't know. I know a lot of people like proof of work. But there only be so many. Area. Now this one. I'm going to answer this one a little bit more straightforward because I did look at it in the past. I think Area is Arion network. Now here's one of the things that bother me about Arion is I don't want anybody. Listen, I love all people, all races. One thing problem was I know they had a major language barrier. And it's like you need different people to be able to communicate what the vision is to other retail investors to get people to invest in it. I know what they said they were doing sounded good. Here's the thing that threw me off, and this was way in the bear market. They did this commercial, and the commercial just seemed too gimmicky to me. It seemed very gimmicky, like kind of like feed the children. For 10 cents a day, you can save a child kind of thing. It just felt disingenuous to me. And maybe that's my language barrier to how they communicate, right? I don't like Ariana Network too much for a lot of different reasons. And once again, I could be completely wrong. I can do some more up to date research on it, but I did not feel too good. I just didn't get a good feeling about them. I don't know. That's all I can really say. I'm sorry. But Cubic, I'll look into more. I don't remember having the best feeling about it, but I may ask around with some of my friends that may have information more than I do. Everything altcoin said, nah, it's trading on futures on Helix. Is that Cubic? Is that what you're saying? And see this one, and maybe that's what he's talking. Hopefully, that's what he's talking about. And that's why I said I don't try to come on here acting like I know everything. There's a lot of times, like people. I always even say this when I did a stream with EA and his buddy Jay the other day. Who's a cool guy. And sometimes I can talk. I can talk and talk, and I can be right there. But sometimes people know more information about certain topics than me, and I let them have it, and I listen and I learn. I don't try to act like, oh, they're talking more than me. I gotta seem like I got the alpha too. Like sometimes just relax and chill, like and learn. Like so yeah, I won't know everything, but I'll look into the stuff that I don't. Sandbag said, is Manta a good project to 50x from where it is now? Let me look where I want to say I believe so, but let me see where we're at. I mean, I would say yes. In my humble opinion, I would say that. I try to keep some of my Patreon stuff in the Patreon, but y'all be asking about it on stream. Maybe I got to make rules about that. I don't know. But yeah, I think so. Sandback. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. Is it Sandbach? Forgive me if I'm saying it incorrectly. Don said, Azo, I hope you know about. Yeah, I do. I do. I put information about that and do your own research. I want to catch up on some of my research on it as well. I do have it in there as kind of like a moon bag, but I do believe what they're doing is good. But yeah, we got some information about that in the Patreon. Lonray said, "Hey, thanks for a constant I guess you meant alpha. I try. You know, I want my streams to be even more alpha packed, but I'm getting my head together right now. When you're sick, your brain is not 100%. What are your thoughts on mint layer and how far it could go? Oh yeah, I talked about that earlier in the stream. How like I know what mint layer does, and I could tell you right now, right? But I want to look deeper into just what the project says it does. A lot of projects do run just off what they say they do. It's not one that I've dug deep into. But one thing I did say is retail really kind of runs the market. I'm going on a slight tangent for a minute. Retail does kind of run the market, right? And there's even when I finished watching Dumb Money, which was a great movie. They were saying how now the financial people in Wall Street, they scour the internet, Twitter, and Reddit to see what retail investors are investing to. Because listen, these Wall Street guys, I'm sorry, but a lot of them never knew what they were doing, to be honest. So retail does kind of run the market, but with something like Bitcoin, it takes a lot of money to move Bitcoin. And so I know the Bitcoin narrative will be a thing, right? But a lot of those big heads don't like the idea of having DeFi and layer twos and all that kind of stuff on Bitcoin. So retail could definitely pump it. I think it's a great project. It has some great backers behind it, right? But because of what the big Bitcoin guys want, it all depends. I think it could do well. Let's see where it's at now. It's not a project that I would tell someone not to invest into, but it's not like really in my bag. Oh yeah, I mean it could. Let's see. And now notice it's not even one of my bags, so I'm not even trying to shill it. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. I think it could comfortably do a 60x from here. Not even something I hold. I don't hold it. I'm not shilling it, so I'm not trying to, whatever. Um, I think I picked some up at one time. What do I hold it? I know I picked some up at one time. Let me look at my portfolio before somebody say I'm lying. Um, I did. Well, I'll say, I don't want to waste time looking at it, but I know I did hold it. I held it for a minute, made some gains on it. Um, but yeah, I think it can 60x from here. I'll leave it there because I want to answer other people's questions. We're getting late in the live. Tizen said, Zoe, I really appreciate your Patreon. You answer all the questions. The others that I join have moderators answer all the questions. Yeah. I mean, that's what I've heard a lot of people say. And I've heard a lot of people say that all the picks come from different people in the group, and the people that have the Patreon are just holding it. Now there's different types of patrons, but if you're a patron where you're saying you're going to help people find different picks, I think you should be helping people find the picks, and you should be finding a great percentage of the picks. But you got other patrons that are that focus on different things like private sales and pre-sales. So those are not going to give you picks. That's not their job. They told you what they do, right? So different patrons have different benefits. I don't have the pre-sales and private sales. Maybe I will one day. I help people find picks. So, I try to answer as many questions as I can. I wish people knew how hard that is for me sometimes, because I am trying to also research for my Patreon to make sure I can get them picks. So sometimes answering questions takes away from that, but I do try to answer, because I do have a small group right now. And like I said, I'm going to try to cut that off early. I can't have thousand something people. I don't even know how people do that. Thank you. Appreciate your responses and info. Nadell, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Right? I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry. I don't even know what that is, bro. I don't even know what that is. Let me see. That that ticker is kind of weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's what that is. What are you? Hmm. This color scheme is really becoming a big thing with a lot of projects. Um, I'm gonna just do one more quick research thing on it real quick. Um, Probably another one I have to look into later. Yeah, I'll have to look into this one later. You said it pumped suddenly. Um, yeah, that was a big sudden pump, wasn't it? Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll look into that later. Sandbox, thank you. Tiza said, "Do you think Tectum can 50x from here?" Tectum was one of those ones that in the bear market there was nothing else around, and so it wasn't hard to find these picks. I think I got in the Tectum like I think it was like $3.40 or something. Um, I think I ran Tectum up to maybe $15 or something like that, and I think Tectum has great marketing. They have people pushing it. It's not really something I believe in though, and I fully know that this is one of those picks that I could people could go back and say like, "Did you see what he said about Tectum?" Right? Because it could crush them in the bull run, right? I just don't think people are trying to put Bitcoin on paper. I understand what it does, and you're saying privacy, and you can transact, and nobody knows where it's from, and nobody has the keys. You just give it to them, or you can just pass the keys along, blah blah blah, and transact Bitcoin privately and whatever. But I don't see people really putting it on paper. I don't want to flood anybody's bags or whatever. But it's a great project, could do well, Bitcoin narrative and all that kind of good stuff. Say 50x from here, it could. Anything is possible. And I would say that if the circulating supply is correct, having almost 50% out is good for the project. It definitely could probably 50x from here. But like I said, I got in at like $3 and got it at $15. I'm not usually not a trader, but in the bear market, you kind of just doing what you can do to make money. Um, Great marketing, great looking website. The product, I know they say they have different partnerships and stuff. I personally don't see people doing it because, like I said, with the fact that Tangent is incorporating themselves with Visa, and you can spend your, they have this Visa card that they have Tangent's coming out with, where you can spend. I mean, a lot of people have different crypto cards, but I think what Tangent is doing is a little bit different. But you have all these people that could spend it right from their card to put it on paper, possibly can tear that paper. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's backups and everything like that. But to answer your question, I'm sorry because I did FUD a little bit. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to FUD. To do a 50x from here could be possible in a bull run, full bull run. I think so. So I should have just answered the question. I'm sorry. Um, Issa said, "Hi, bro. Hope you're doing well. What do you think about Lit Labs?" I think somebody asked me about this before. I'm not the most bullish on it. I will say that they do seem like they have a pretty decent following, and let me lead them up again. So I think I was supposed to look at this right before I got sick, and I'm just not the most bullish on it, to be honest. With some of the projects that are out and some of the projects that I know that are coming out, um, It's not one of my most bullish picks, but it definitely could still do well. It's at a low market cap right now. But I would have to look deeper into it to give a more solid answer. Um, no concerns on my end. Because SI, because they have been doing developments. They haven't been doing more than developing. I think they're still in the process of rebranding as well. Actually, I know they're still in the process of rebranding, and that could be far as a full name change or color, but it's not one of those rebranding like what Rainmaker did. Like if you look at what they're doing, I don't know if you're in my Patreon or not, because I know you guys have different names on YouTube. um, there's no question about it. Like they're doing it. It's not what they're saying they're going to do in our rebranding. We're going to do this. No, they've already done it. They've been doing it. They're doing it now. They're going to do more. I have no concerns. They launched near the end of the last cycle at all. Um, Tizen, are you playing with me? Tenzin, hopefully I'm saying that right. Don't be playing with me like that. I'm bullish on them. But that would be a big move from when I last looked. Maybe my sick brain isn't all the way here because oh, you're not lying. Hey, listen, I tell you, I find great projects, and some people are scared to talk about projects with bigger market caps because they don't understand the market. I am never afraid. If I tell you about a project that's got a big market cap, that means you probably should get in. Because I look for micro caps. I do too. I look for micro caps, man. I don't and I'm trying to make astronomical gains. So if I give you a project that's got a big market cap, believe in it. Oh, that's nice to know. Thank you for that information. um, are you bullish on OTK? OTK has been, well, I would say I haven't put in the most time trying to research it as I should have. My streams always go over an hour. I just be talking, don't I? Tomorrow you're gonna enjoy it, I believe. Um, I want to say it's hard to research them, but let me just put this on my list now. Let me put this on my list now to look deeper into. I got like 7 projects I'm supposed to be looking into for y'all. Try to look more for my Patreon members too. So if you're a Patreon member, try to put that in the Patreon more so on stream because I gotta put them first. But I'll try to look into these. But man, relax stream. I know. I didn't dump 1,000 gigabytes of alpha on top of alpha, but we would do that slowly in future. I'm still getting my head together, my nose, and all that stuff, and getting all my ducks in a row. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me the entire time. It's a blessing because you guys don't have to. Don said, Zoe, I know you don't like Abyss, but they just partnered with Chainlink last week. No, it's not that I didn't like them. It's just that they had some FUD in the past, and you want to make sure they really made amends with that, and they're committed to the whole Web3 space because they had a lot of Web2 partnerships that it seemed like they weren't trying to disappoint. And so it's like, is your my question was whether was Abyss allegiance with Web 2 or Web 3? The project looks great. The game looks amazing. The great game looks amazing. I just want to make sure in the long term because I'm not a group that just throws you a bunch of trades every day. Like, hey, you can make a trade on this 10% here, 20% here. I try to give my group long term holds, and I want to make sure that I can be comfortable giving them those long term holds that they can actually hold. And make astronomical gains on. So no, I don't hate the project. I think it's a great looking project, but I have to make sure that they're holding up their end of the bargain and they're going to be in the space and they're not just going to run a pump and dump. But yeah, I mean, the game looks amazing. It looks better than a lot of games, to be honest. So I'm not going to FUD something just because I don't hold it or whatever. Um, yeah, so yes, it's a great looking project. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I don't think the YouTube algorithm likes when you go over an hour, but it is what it is. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out. We're going to bring some alpha and talk about some great stuff tomorrow, some real world use cases and all that kind of great stuff. So thank you guys. Like the stream on your way out or on your way in. I don't know. And I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. And if you guys are new, I don't try to shill it too much, but join the Patreon. Join the group where we're making money. It's at patreon.com/cryptozo, patreon.com/cryptozo. And I don't think $50 is a lot. To get in projects early and to know what's going on in the market. I don't know everything in the market, but I do know some things that are going on. Like a lot of people questioned when I put out a certain pick last week, and they were like, "This market cap is high. Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm very sure." And I was sure. So thank you guys. Like the stream, join the Patreon, all that good stuff that people say. And I will catch you up. It was good to find you, new subscriber here. Thank you. And keep grinding. I definitely will, Christopher Robinson. You got a dope name, Christopher Robinson. I shouldn't have did that on stream. I can't even erase that now. I just did a Winnie the Pooh, whatever. Thank you guys for hanging out. See you guys tomorrow.